29th of March, Rabbi Furst, Mishnah Berurah.
Than an olive size.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning again. We're in the Hilchos Pesach Siman Taf Ayin Gimel Siv Vav.
Is that done so you don't have to say a bracha achrona on the parsley?
Yeah, we want to avoid the bracha achrona on the parsley because you want, when you're making the bracha Brei Adama, you're really supposed to have kavana, intention to exempt the morer, which is going to be eaten after you make a motza and a matzi.
Oh, right.
And if you would make a bracha achrona on the carpus, meaning if you'd eat a sufficient amount, more than a kazayas, so then that would exclude the ability of exempting the morer.
But why do you want to exempt the mar? It's part of the meal.
Well, the laws of brachas in this particular case don't really view the morer as coming as part of the meal. It's really coming as something extra and aside, meaning when you make hamotzi, right, the bracha on the bread that you make hamotzi is going to pater, exempt all foods which are included in the meal, which are usually there for the accompaniment of the bread. They enhance the eating of the bread. The bread is the main part of the meal, which you're focusing your eating on. But when you have other things, cheeses, meats, fish, all these other things, when you're having those things along with the bread, they're enhancing the eating of the bread, right? But the laws of brachas are as such that anything which is coming, even if it's coming in a meal, but it's not necessarily coming to enhance the eating of the bread, it's really considered in terms of the brachas as independent from the meal, and it requires its own separate bracha. So here in this case of the moror is not really coming as part of the meal itself. It would be similar, not exactly, similar to like say if you would have a piece of melon at the beginning of a meal you wash, and you may remember the American weddings, right? That they would start you off with a fruit cocktail or a piece of melon or such. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those weddings?
Yeah.
Now you get a breakup. You get breakfast.
Usually that was the hors d'oeuvre. That was before you said motza.
Well, not necessarily so. Sometimes it's brought after the hamotzi, in which case there's a bit of a discussion in the poskim as to whether or not you make a bracha if it's melon or adam, or if it's a fruit salad, you make a fruit cocktail, you make a eitz. There's some discussion in the poskim about that. As we move further on,
dessert, right? When you have dessert,
right?
So we say, if I'm correct, we say that the dessert is not subservient to the bread because you're eating dessert. You're not eating dessert because you're hungry. You're eating it because you want to be social and because you want to have a little something sweet.
Right.
So my understanding is that the correct procedure is you say a bracha on the dessert.
Right.
But
right.
you don't say a bracha achrona because you're going to include the dessert in the birkas hamazon.
Right.
So why don't we do the same thing with the maror? Say a brei adama, and then include the bracha achrona in the birkas hamazon.
Okay, well, the bracha achrona is in the bracha achrona for the moror is in the birkas hamazon. That's true. But in terms of the first bracha, we'll see. We'll continue the machaber in the Mishnah Berurah. We'll see. There'll be some explanation of this as we get further in the Mishnah Berurah. Hold on.
Okay, so let's see. So you take the karpas pachot the mikazayit u matbilo b'chometz. Okay, and you
Dip it.
dip it in the chametz. Salt, we use salt water. Because people use different things. Umevarech borei pri adama, and one should say the blessing borei pri adama on it, yochel, and eat it. And here ve'ino mevarech, and we do not say the blessing afterwards.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Let's stop here. Let's stop here because now he's going to go into the matzah.
Okay.
So let's see the Mishnah Berurah here. Hold on.
Okay, so the Mishnah Berurah on Vav. Litzorach tibul rishon. So to need to do the first dipping. Okay. So let's see what that says. It says Kamo Mefaresh. Holech. Okay. The Hata'am. The Chol Davar She Tibulo B'machsheh Tzarich Netila the El Simin Kuf Nun Het. Okay. So let's see what this is. Okay. So let's it says as it is explained further, and the reason that everything
Right, that's in Kuf Nun Chet. That's in the second volume of the Mishnah Berurah. That discusses there that it's not simply here on Pesach where you have to worry. Anytime you're going to be eating some type of food that's going to be wet, or you're dipping it, right, and also making it wet. So you're going to need to wash your hands, but again, without a bracha. There's no bracha on it. So that's where those halachas are delineated there in Kaf Nun Chet.
I had heard that it wasn't that the food was wet, it was that your hands were wet.
Could be either one. Either one. If your hands are dry and you just washed an apple, it's a wet apple, the same law applies. Or let's say the apple is dry and your hands are wet. It goes either way.
So if I have potato for the karpas and I eat it I use a fork. I dip it, I pick it up with a fork and I dip it and then I eat it. I never touch the potato or the salt water. Is that a problem?
It could be that you don't really, under those circumstances, according to probably most of the opinions, you would not need to, especially if you always eat a potato with a fork, because the law is things which you don't normally eat with if you don't eat with your hands, even if they're wet, in general, you won't have to wash your hands for them. So in this case, that would, if you're eating a potato with a fork, if you normally would not eat a boiled potato with your hands, then it could be that you're not fulfilling the requirements of the halacha here. We'll see. Let's continue on. Hold on.
Okay, let's see. Below Yivarech, and one should not say the blessing. Ukemo shepasak amechaber le'el b'simin kuf nun hey sif dalet. Okay, so that was explained, I guess, in explained above in Kuf Nun Chet Sif Dalet. Okay, Ayin Sham b'Mishnah Berurah da'ad Hagra b'Inyan Zeh. And there in the Mishnah Berurah, it goes according to the opinion of the Gra with this matter. Okay, Nun Gimel, Pachot Kazayit, less than an olive size. Lefi Shebichazayit, Yesh Safek B'bracha achrona. Oh, here, im yivarech ota olo. Okay, so here, let's see, according that I guess the size of the olive, there's a doubt whether one says the bracha achrona, the blessing after having it. Im yivarech ota olo, whether he blesses, whether he says the blessing or not on it.
Whether you should make a blessing on it or not.
Oh, whether you should. Okay. Kain tov yoter sheyochal pachot mizayis. Okay. So in this case, it's better to eat less than a kazayit. Shlo yehebo chiyuv klal l'kulei alma, so that he's not obligated in the general fashion of saying the bracha rona.
Right.
Okay. And then bechometz, which is
Vinegar.
vinegar. Okay, vinegar. Obiyain, oh, good. They use my method, salt water.
Yep.
So you dip it in wine or salt water, apparently.
Right.
Okay. So then it says velo ate ela la puke shelo itbo charoset. Okay. So we do not, I guess, dip it in the charoset. Let's see, charoset eino ela litbol. Okay. Oh, shnei shemivatel. Okay, because the charoset's for the second dipping.
Right. The charoset is for the second dipping. Right.
Okay. Hamaror v'charoset, that the maror, the bitter herb, the root, the horseradish root, is for. Okay. Muvarech borei pri ha'adama. And we say the blessing. Whoa, the glasses just flew off. We say the blessing, borei pri ha'adama. Okay, vayikavein lipor bracha zo gam hamarur sheyochal achar kach. Okay, so we should let's see, vayikavein, since what we're released from the bracha.
Right, V'yichavin before to exempt with this bracha, bibracha. V'yichavin should intend to exempt with this bracha of the Brei Pri Adama, gam,
Also the maror that is eaten afterwards. Okay, and I think nun vav. Did we do that one? Ve'eno mevarech acharav. Right. So we don't say it afterwards. Afilu im achar kazayit lefi shebracha rishona ka'e gam al hamaror. Okay, so even if one eats a kazayit size, according that the bracha, say the bracha rishona, okay, gam al hamaror. We also say it over the maror.
Right, because even if you ate the kazayas, you shouldn't make even if you ate a kazayas, don't make a bracha afterwards. The fisha bracha rishona kol gam al mura, because the bracha rishona that you made a break for them is also going on the mura, right?
Okay, Kain birchat hamazon shepoter et hamaror. Oh, okay, so the birchat hamazon exempts one from the maror. Okay, I'm saying it afterwards. Okay, she'ochel b'toch hasuda, that it's eaten within the suda. Ka'e gam al hakarpa she'achal mikodem, and also what the karpas that is eaten beforehand or first. V'ayin b'vei or halacha ma shekatvu katavnu b'shem hagra b'zeh. Okay,
Yeah, so there's another opinion here. We're not gonna have time for the beer locker today. Maybe we'll go into it tomorrow. We'll see. Hold on, we'll see. Maybe we'll go into it tomorrow. Okay.
okay,
Good,
very
very
good.
good. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
Hashem.
you. Have a good day, Rabbi.
Thank you too. Good. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Mayor. Hope to see you both tomorrow.
Okay,
Thank
Okay.
you, Rabbi. Shkoyach Meir.
Okay.
okay, Baruch Tiyeh. Thank you.